What's up, guys? Today we have the kind of debut of the Unifi G6 180. So this is a 2-sensor, 4K on each sensor, got a 180-degree field of view camera. It's got 3 LEDs, 2 on the side and then 1 on the front. It's got a status LED, microphone, some IR blasters, but yeah, here's the box. This little cube. And this one's actually the black version because the black version came out before the white version did. But let's get it cracked open and see what we got. Let's get the pull tab done. I'll be quiet so you guys can hear this. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. Love that pull tab now. A lot better than the old one. All right, let's open it up here. All right, here's the box and here's the camera. So let's slide this out. Oh, dang. I was not expecting to weigh that much. That probably weighs a good 2, maybe 3 pounds. I'll have to check the specs later. But here we have a little, focus. It's gonna be a POEM Plus, I believe. Yep, POEM Plus. And it's a little like angled mount or angled plug, which is quite handy mounting on the wall. So that's pretty neat. We got 1 LED, 2 LED, and the 3rd LED. This is like kind of a floodlight, but 2 lens. And honestly, I was expecting this to be a little bit bigger than what it is, but it's definitely a compact size. Probably 6 inches, 7 crossed, and then height probably 2 inches, and then width is probably at its peak, like maybe 4 inches, but yeah, let's see what else is in the box. Now it does have like looks like a foam core outline or holder, which is very nice. The MSRP on this is $2.99. So here's a pull mount. Push that off. Here is the tightener or fastener for a pull that goes around that. Here is the wall kind of wedge mount. I believe this one is 15 degrees or 10. I'll slide this out. This is the hardware kit. This hardware kit, it's almost like it has like a plastic on it, which is a little bit interesting. But we do get one of their screwdrivers. It's not branded like the other ones, but that one's slightly different. Get the different cable glands. It looks like they start out at 3.3 to 4.4 millimeter, 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter, and 5.5 to 6.5 millimeter. So those are the different cable widths or circumference you can support, diameter, excuse me. There's the little lockers. And looks like just some screws, variety of different screws. I'm wondering, okay, there is one. So they do include, oops, it's a long one, but it's a little wedge to pop it or do the lock. And it looks like we got a couple more things in the box. So there is, I'm not gonna take it out, but there is a, for a drop ceiling. And it looks like a wall plate as well, which is interesting. It kind of comes out like this. This one is one that I would actually have to look up to see how it's put on the wall, because I've never seen a design like that before. Huh. And it's got like little gator teeth. Huh. I'm wondering. That's interesting. Huh. Pretty nifty. We'll set that off to the side, but other than that, looks like we got the template and one more mount. Dang, there's quite a few mounts in here. And it's probably the wall plate that goes on probably previous to this one. But let's get this camera plugged in and see what it can do. All right, I do apologize about the lighting, but I wanted to get this plugged in and see what it looks like on the first boot up. So I got my cable here, and let's see what it, so that is a pretty bright status light. It does have a speaker. So that's good to know. Angled. Man, that's what it looks like. I'll get a couple more clips with the LEDs when we turn those on. Ooh, that's some good stuff right there. But yeah, let's see this guy in action. All right, guys. So I plugged in the G6 180. I got it here in the Protect software. It showed up, you know, as expected. So let's go in and click Adopt and see how long it'll take. In the meantime, it's probably gonna, that was a really quick adoption. It's probably gonna have an update, but meantime, let's switch over, excuse me, to the product page. So it's got two 4K, 1/1.8, 8 megapixel image sensors, 180-degree field of view. It's kind of what the plate, so this one's the standard just base wall plate. And on the bottom, I forgot to mention, that's where the SD card is. And probably, I'll double check. I'll put a little description up there if it has a can't say it, but you know, the silica packets that go in here for water moisture. This is IP66 rated with IK04 tamper proof, full 16 megapixels, full resolution, 7680 by 2160. Does take 15 watts, in which I can confirm. Yeah, there it goes. I can confirm that it is pulling. Let's see. It's pulling 10 watts, which I'm actually generally surprised about. And it is at 10100 or 100 speed. Yeah, it's going an update. It's got the 3 pixels. Only a max frame rate of 20 FPS, which is interesting. I would expect 30. Then there's what's in the box, totally. But most people are like, well, why don't you just use 2 turret cameras or something similar? They did put it at a price point where it's pretty reasonable, as like, for example, a G6 turret is 200. So if the G5s are like 120, I believe. Let's go and look. Let's see what we got here. There. Oh yeah, here we go. So 130, you could use 2 G5s, but if you're going for newest, then you need that 180, then you might as well go with, you know, a 180, but it depends on angles too. But yeah, microphone, speaker, LED indicator. Does have IR night vision of 65 feet. Do have it mounted. It is a bit dark outside. But I do have it mounted somewhere where hopefully we can kind of look. But yes, I'm gonna wait for this to finish and then I'll come back to you guys. All right, it's finally updated. Let's see the preview. So it's gonna be a little wonky because it's 2, you know, combined images. So I will say it looks crisp. It is 532, which it's, you know, getting a little darker lately, but looks pretty good. I know it is going through glass. It's kind of the setup that I got right now, but can zoom in still on some certain things, like, you know, the cows over there. I will say the low light, it is pretty dark in that room right now. The low light looks really good considering, so I'm looking outside, comparing the difference, and it is pretty dark outside. So low light is pretty good. It is kind of that weird angle. So it does have detection. So animal, vehicle, person, and face detection. There's shortcuts like before. Settings, let's take a look at that. It does have color night vision, which is interesting. So that's nifty. Oh yeah, because of the spotlight. That makes more sense. So let's see what else. So we got your standard brightness, you know, saturation, all that settings. I did check with the other cameras. So majority of their cameras are 30 FPS. The only one that I could find that was not 30 FPS was the 360 and now a G6 180. So if you do want that full 30 for both cameras, then yeah, just pick up, you know, 2 G6 turret cameras. Well, let's see here. Go back. So video detections, you know, simple stuff. They're kind of their alarms. They have, it does have tamper detection as well now. So I believe there is a button on the back physically. So it detects if the camera is physically moved or obstructed, logged in as a timeline to trigger, you know, custom alerts and etc. FPS is set to normal. You can bring it down to 1080 if you want to. I was gonna do that. Events recording adaptive. It does have the motion, smart zones, crossing lines, and privacy blackouts. But other than that, it's pretty simple camera. I'm going to let this sit on recording, and then I'm going to come back later tomorrow, and then we'll see what the difference is. But yeah, it does have the talking. Not sure how well that'll be, but we'll try that tomorrow once the lighting's a little bit better, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, yeah, it's looking good. All right, it's actually a couple weeks later, you know, life happens. But I got the G6 kind of moved over so the camera could see it. You can see, I just wanted to do a quick test of the speaker that's in the camera. Obviously this isn't like a noisy environment. I don't know how well it'll pick up across distances like in an open area, but let's go ahead and check it out. This is a test of the G6 180. This is a test of the G6 180. I did notice that it was pretty loud, especially when I was just have it in completely opposite side of the house, and I can still hear it and with the door closed. So, but let's check out the night footage. I had it recording for quite a while, so let's go ahead and check that out. All right, I have some night footage pulled up here. Obviously it's not going to be the best with the reflection of the infrared, but from what you can tell, it's actually a very good throw distance for the infrared. Obviously this is a light post and still make out some of the distances. If I can get this installed, I'll make a follow-up video. I don't know how long that'd be, but I'd like to get this installed at one of our clients and then see the improvement, possibly from 2 different angles or so on and so forth, but we'll have to check that down the line. But if you guys don't mind, if you can like, comment, subscribe what you'd like to see, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can reach out on our website, mvnisp.net. Check the description. Awesome, guys. Catch you later. Have a good one.